Okay. So what do you have here?
Cow feeder.
Oh, a cow feeder. What did you build it out of?
Pallets.
Pallets. You must have cut them down a little bit here?
Yeah, I will show you over here. You'll be able to see them better. This is a big pallet. I think it's like 5 foot maybe. 5 foot, 4 foot. And it's like 6 foot wide, I think. 5 foot. Looks like 5 foot maybe. And all we did is there's 4 posters. And in the middle there's 2. And all you do is you cut right here and you cut out the gap. There's gonna be boards here and stuff. So and you leave the bottom boards, but you cut off the 2 top. And then you can, if it's just for cows, you can put a board across the top. You can put it here and then it connects over here, so it's a little more sturdy from there. But it's for horses and cows, so the horses, if there's a board that goes across the top, if the horse sticks their neck in, it'll get a neck rub and it'll hurt because it'll rub all of his hair off his neck. So that's why we're leaving it off. And it's fine for cows. I mean, just gives it a little more support and stuff. The only thing is this feeder, it wiggles back and forth, but I mean, we'll just get some fence posters. And this is tomorrow's feeder. We're gonna build this tomorrow. We gotta put a board right there. And then, but yeah, all you do is you leave the 3. So all you do is there's 5, there should be 5 boards. I think most pallets have. I know about pretty thick boards. Anyway, you leave 3, so you go 1, 2, 3, and you cut off the 2 top. You can leave this middle so it keeps this from bending in. I left 1 up here and 1 down here. I was gonna take this off. I was gonna take this one off and put it up here, but then I decided to leave it down here so it has some support in the middle, and then leave it up so then it has some support up here. This one you can see has 4 boards, because that's how I cut it. This one, when I cut it, this board right here was broken, and this board right here had none. There was nothing there. So I mean, we have a bunch of boards right there, and we can just put one on, but I don't got any more screws to spare.
Look at all those pallets.
Like right here too. There's nothing in the middle. There's nothing in the middle right here either.
Right.
I'm probably gonna have to put something there because something might stick his head in there. You don't really want it to get stuck.
Yep.
So I'll probably have to put a board there. And then you could also just build a wall so like you just stack them. Like I'll go get a couple boards to show you. We have 2 of these, and these are the cutoffs of this. This used to be on there. This used to be like this. It used to be panned up here with some nails, and it used to connect to there like that. But you just took them off, and then you can just go like this. You gotta cut them though, but then you just stack them and stuff, and you can stack them and make like a wall. You just have to cut them so they're flush on either side, and then screw them in or nail them in. And then you can even gap them too. You can gap them like that so they make a little crack, but not too much, instead of putting them together like that and stuff. And
Pretty handy.
yeah, we're probably gonna put some down here because these are wide enough. We'll probably put like one there. Let's put them like that. Put a board in the middle. Cut a custom board to go in the middle. So then it's like here. So then it's like a wall right here, so nothing can stick their head through. And also these pallets. This is all out of pallet. It's wood, and there's no. This is all from pallets. Right here. See this? This is, I think it's like a roofing panel. It looks like a roofing panel, but it's smaller. And it looks just like the big ones because it has 2 in the middle, and then 2, and on the outside. And like you can make a goat feeder out of that. It will be smaller. All you have to do is just cut it. This has 3. All you do is you cut however I'll cut down to here for a goat and stuff. Or you can cut all 3 of them and then put a board so it stands up. Because if you cut it all the way down to this one, the goat's just going to jump over.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll cut it down to here and the goat, and then you just build a feeder just like that. And I'll show you those pallets. Them over here. We got... We got 9 of them.
What do you plan on doing with all these pallets?
We're in a pig pen.
Building a pig pen.
We're gonna build a pig pen. And then we already have those 2 pallets right there. We're gonna lose them. The reason why we lose those, because I didn't want to lose any of those other pallets because those are for a pig shelter. So I wanted to lose something what was not really for a pig shelter because it's a little weird looking and it has a lot of stuff. So it looks like a roofing pallet anyway, and it's pretty sturdy because most of these, look, like right here, if you look, most of these pallets have 1, 2, 3, like that.
Mm-hmm.
These little ones have 4 in the middle, like over here. But if I was going to build a cow feeder, if this was just going to be a cow feeder, like just going to be a cow feeder, I would put a board across here. Like I would maybe left the board, what was right here, on, because it would be big enough. But if it was a bull, I'll put a board. If it was a bull, if it's like a cow or something with a small head, because a bull has kind of a huge head, I would leave it like that. But if it's a board, it's put 2 by 4 across, and it'll be fine. But we put these in the middle, because the reason why we put these in the middle is because this is what they're gonna do when they come up. If there's hay in the middle, they're gonna push. They are gonna push. We probably could put some on the bottom, but we don't got any more screws, and we don't got really any long enough boards. But we'll probably put these down below, so then if they push on the bottom, it's sturdy, so it's like shakes perfectly, because there's some on the side, and we put some up here, so this is pretty sturdy, but then we're going to put some on the bottom, and then it'll be pretty sturdy.
All right.
And then also, another thing is, if you didn't see it, these pallets, they look like roofing pallets. We put it in, you can put it up like that, so the spike side, so the spike side right there could be facing up. But that was too short, so that was too close together. I think it was too close together, so if 2 animals stuck their heads in, they won't be able to eat together. So we had to put it longwise, and this is all we did. Go over here. Come here.
Okay.
This is all we did, is you can see there's already 1 and 2 boards inside here. All we did is, there's these, they stick out, you can see they stick out right here. They stick out like, kind of looks like 3 inches, 2.5 inches, 2 inches. And they stick out, so when we butted this up and we put it flush on the bottom, this was hitting right there. So we had to cut it flush with this piece of wood. We cut 2 of them. We cut 1 there, and we cut 1 here, flush. And then we left these on. So it's kind of like a puzzle piece. So it connects together, so it's kind of like a puzzle piece. So these ones are the supports, and then that comes in, and then it connects, and then that's why there's only 2 boards. Also, we probably could put more in here to keep the hay from getting out, but it's not that big a deal. And then we just cut it right there. We just cut it. We cut it on the other side like that. We just cut the bottom, and we cut the second from the top. And then also we screwed it in right there like that. We screwed this flush to the inside, I think. And then we put a screw right there. That's a little screw. That's like maybe 1 inch. And we put 1 down here, right there. We put 1 right there. I mean, you could put some all the way right there, but we didn't really need it because we put some screws in. We put a 3-inch screw right there, and it goes through, and it went inside this right here. So there's 2 of them. There's 1 here and 1 here. Make sure to drill them in to where there's a board, because if you drill it in right there, you can see there's a little gap in there. So that screw's just going to have a little bit of room and you'll be able to see that. So if you put it right there, the board is blocking the gap. So then it can get drilled in and then it will be nice and tight. You already put 2 in if you already have 2 inside, like 1 and then 2. So then you already screw them in where those are. And then, oh, and also, yeah, put the 2 from in the inside because you want these 3 outside so nothing, like if this was on the outside, they could stick their heads and try to grab hay. Like we might have to block this up because they can stick their heads through, but I don't really matter. That doesn't really matter because I think all of our calves are tall enough, have big enough heads so they can't stick in, but they can stick their nose in and chomp on it and stuff. But we will probably put a board because they only get more screws. But then all you can see, we might, and also this is what I wanted to do. Have you seen that board? Oh, wait there. So there's a board and we cut this like 4 inches. We cut it so it's flush, kind of tight, but not too tight with these 2. Though that one and that one. And then if you butt it up against here and you flush it with that board, if you flush it, like don't want it like that, you want it flush. Nice and flush. I kind of cutted it right there and then I drooped off right here and it kind of nicked and stuff, but that's kind of fine. I mean, you can stick a screw in, but you could do that. I mean, we might do that. So then there ain't that big crack there for something, so it's not that uncomfortable for them. We will just do that so then they can put their head on something flat and sturdy. And you can do that. We didn't because we don't got enough screws. Basically everything here we don't got enough screws for. But make sure, because there's going to be 4 boards. Put everything, all the smallest inside. Because you want these, you want the most boards on the outside, the most tightest together. Like this is 1, 2, 3. And then inside there's only 2. So put that in the inside, because you don't want that. You don't want that facing out. So then the cows can it just doesn't look right.
I'm gonna go put the hammers away.
Alright. So then all you do is you just do that. Just put it on the outside. And you could put board here so that it's all flush across. Like you can tighten them together so you can put that board, unpan it and screw it down there lower. And then just make them all nice and tight together so then it makes like a barrier. But you don't really need it like that. I mean, you could put some in the inside. Like inside you can do that. Like you can build it up. You can go do 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 do. And then the hay can't get out and stuff. But we're not going to put a pallet bottom on it either. So it ain't much of a problem. If we were going to put a pallet bottom, we'll just use these ones. Because you can see, we put this. We'll have to cut all those though. Cut them a certain, actually, yeah, you have to cut them a certain. You have to cut them so them kind of like that. So then you can cut them all and you just lay 2 of them down inside here. Or 1 of them. 1 and a half. 2 and a half of them. No, 1 and a half. 1 and a half of these. You just lay them on the bottom and then you can find some little boards like this and just put them together so that it makes a nice tight crack. So when you put the hay, if you don't want your hay sitting on the ground, then you just lay this pallet down and still have a pallet like that. But you just use the same pallet and put it down because you can see this is kind of like flush and stuff to it and stuff, so it's perfect. But you already want to cut the board to about right there. So you don't want to cut it like all the way to right here. You want to cut it so this board is flush with there. So you can just lay it down nice. Lay it down and then you just put 2 more in here. Well, have the notch. You just have to notch them like that. And then it works perfectly fine. I mean, look right here. Like this is falling off. Like that just came off. But it doesn't really matter because you see there's already a board there, so it kind of holds it together. You don't have to use a 1x6. This is a 1x6, I think. Anyway, then we have this little invention that we're going to use to get that out of there. That's not how it goes. To carry it down there for them. And then we'll probably put a fence post in it. We'll probably put a fence post in the middle, right here or something. So then it can't really move back and forth that much. But it's hard to pam a fence post. Like if I was going to pam a fence post in here, I'd probably, actually I gotta screw that in a little more. That's still sticking out. Anyway, if I was gonna pam a fence post, I'll probably take off these 2 boards right here and then pam it in and then put them back on. Cause there's no way I'm gonna get a pammer in there because the fence post is only like 5 foot tall. So that's like, unless you use a sledgehammer, then you really ruin your boards though. Cause if you miss, you're gonna hit them. So I'll take that off and then screw them back on. But that's basically all. I mean, you could put these 2. See how there's 2? There's kind of like a gap. I left a gap in there because when I huck the hay, I don't want any little shelf up here. I want the hay to be able to fall down, so when I huck it over the fence, it just goes down. But you leave these 2 on, but then you get 2 more boards, and then you put them right here. So you put them and they butt up, so they basically are they are sitting right there. I'll show you, so you know what I'm talking about. So let's take this board, for example, and you put it this way, just like those, and you put it down. Put it like that. You just put it long ways, just like that. And if you put that pallet bottom on, if you put that where my board's pointing on the bottom, then look, that's going to be off the ground a little bit, so then it will sit on your pallet, kind of. If your pallet's wide enough. So yeah. And then you just put it across. You don't just use one of these. You have to use a long one like that, and then screw it to your sides, and then it's perfectly fine. And you can use anything. I mean, you could put wheels on it. Use it for a movable feeder. You can put like 2 wheels, one on that side and one on the other side, and then just hook up a rope to it, so then you hang it up. You don't have to put wheels on this side. You just have to, when you hang the rope, it lifts it off the ground a little bit, so the rope pulls it up when you hook it up to a 4-wheeler. Or if you're just pulling it by hand, then yeah, put wheels there, put 4 wheels. So one on that side, one on this side, one on that side, and one over there. And then it'll be fine. And also you can put a roof on this. You can just put a board with some hinges and then it closes and stuff. But we don't have to get that fancy because we don't feed unlimited hay. They just get the hay what we feed in the evening and then the night. I mean the evening and morning. Morning and evening. And you just do that. But if this was just for cows, I would have left the board. I would have put a board right here because cows kind of like to push on it. But I mean, it's pretty sturdy. The only thing I'm kind of worried is, you can see it's kind of wiggly, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be, it doesn't even have to be that fancy. And then we have some fence posts for the pig pen, and we'll probably take one of these or something. Anyway, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you want to see us rebuild this, because we're going to be building that one tomorrow, or someday we're going to be building it, and I will show you how to build it. We'll build it just like this one, but we'll video it. And make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you in the next one.